Hello everyone, this is Jason Deese with the National Weather Service here in Peachtree City, Georgia, and this is the weekly weather briefing for the week of June 2nd, 2016. We don't have a lot of major things to talk about today, but there are a lot of little minor things that we need to cover, so we'll get started here. So here's our outline for today. We're going to start out by taking a look back. We had numerous showers and thunderstorms on Wednesday, and in fact we had scattered severe storm reports area-wide, so we'll show you some of that. But we need some more reports. We had issued some warnings that we haven't received reports for yet, so we'd like your help on that if we could. And then we'll take a look ahead. We have scattered showers and storms expected today, additional strong to severe storms possible, but there are a couple subtle differences, however, that could lead to less coverage than anticipated. So here's a look at the rainfall yesterday, and you can see we had widespread coverage. The areas indicated in the gray shading there are any areas that received anywhere from a tenth to a quarter of an inch of rain, and pretty much just about everybody got in on that. There were a few areas that missed out on it, but overall we had widespread coverage. And then the areas, as you get into the blues and greens, were indicating areas that got upwards of an inch of rain to slightly over an inch. And then as we get into the deeper shades of green and then in the yellows, those are areas that received over 2 inches of rain, and in some cases over 3. And as you can see, the big winner for yesterday was this Mount Vernon area. They received over 3 inches of rain, but we had numerous areas that received over 2 inches. Quite a few there in Gwinnett County received over 2 inches. So there were quite a bit of rainfall due to the slow movement of the storms yesterday. So not only did we have the rainfall yesterday, but we had quite a few severe reports, probably a dozen or more, and those are still trickling in at this hour. We had some reports there in Gwinnett. You can see that again. But probably some of the most significant damage we had was actually in Coweta County, and then up in Polk County and Cedartown. Both of those areas had numerous trees and power lines down from some of the winds from yesterday's storms. Most of the storms yesterday did exhibit strong winds, but we also had some hail reports. There along I-20 we had a 1 inch hail there near Barnett, you can see. But we still have some counties that we haven't heard from yet as far as what severe weather they encountered. We had some pretty good storms over these particular counties, so please give us a call here at the National Weather Service if you had any severe weather. You can also go to our website at weather.gov/FFC, and you can submit a storm report that way. But Cobb and Gordon are highlighted here because we had some stronger storms there that we really thought would produce some damaging winds, but we haven't heard anything out of those counties. So if you live in any of these counties, you had severe weather yesterday, please send us a report this way so we can log that. Appreciate your help on that. So what about these storms today? We have a few subtle differences starting out today versus yesterday. For one thing, we have more cloud cover to start out today, and then we have more clouds to move in from Alabama as well. But we still feel there's going to be enough clearing, especially across central Georgia, for good storm development this afternoon. The main thing will be the quicker movement of the storms. Yesterday, these storms just developed and sat over one area, producing some localized flooding. Today, we'll at least get a little movement on these storms off to the northeast around 10 miles per hour. It'll limit, but not eliminate, the flood potential completely. So with the high temperatures for today, generally upper 80s to lower 90s anticipated, North Georgia area. But note the area within the oval where temperatures will reach the mid-90s in some cases this afternoon. Now what that means is we'll have increased fuel for storm development. Anywhere we can get the higher temperature, the more fuel you'll have for storm development. So this will be an area that we'll be concerned with for this afternoon and evening. All areas will see a chance of showers and thunderstorms, but these areas that receive the max heating in those mid-90s will especially be watching those areas of central Georgia. Unfortunately, we're getting some mixed signals for the potential for today. This is another map showing in the oval area the areas where we're expecting the highest wind potential. So despite the greater fuel to the south, the greatest wind potential is actually to the north. Hatched area depicts areas most likely to see the microbursts, which are those quick bursts of strong winds that we saw yesterday so often. It only depicts the areas most likely in the oval. We could still see strong winds with any storms that develop today. So let's continue with that theme of mixed signals. This is the SPC outlook for today, and they're really highlighting that north area where the greatest wind potential will be. But again, we're still concerned about that central Georgia where those temperatures could reach into the mid-90s. Bottom line is, with mixed signals, pretty much anyone could see a strong to severe storm this afternoon or evening, much like yesterday. But overall coverage is going to be less than what we saw yesterday. So remember yesterday I was saying we had maybe a dozen or more reports. We may see something like 3 to 6, maybe upwards to 10, but generally less coverage of severe storms than yesterday. So how about the rest of the week? Well, we're looking for some drier air to try to sneak into central Georgia for tomorrow afternoon, so that'll limit rain chances there. You can see those generally in the lower 30s, 30%, maybe 35% in those areas. Up to the north, however, still plenty of moisture around, still expecting 40 to 50% up there, so the highest rain chances are going to be across the northern tier for Friday afternoon. So what about the weekend? As we get into Saturday, we're going to see activity increase ahead of a cold front, and so activity increases, our rain chances increase area-wide, but especially across the north. You see that area hatched in the oval there. We're going to see likely rain chances, so anything 60% and greater. Now it's going to be late in the afternoon, generally into the evening hours for the highest rain chances. So if you have any outdoor activities, definitely plan on doing those in the morning or certainly by the early afternoon. By the time we get mid-late afternoon, all bets are off and we could see some rain chances area-wide. But again, mainly across that northern tier. And then what about your Sunday? Well, we have that cold front that's going to move into the area on Sunday. We're going to have high shower and thunderstorm potential. You can see we have areas 60, 70, close to 80%. So really expecting rain chances to ramp up during the day on Sunday, area-wide. Mainly a heavy rain event. A lot of times with these events we'll see the clouds move in and it's hard to get some of these strong and severe storms going. The exception may be central Georgia. With the cold front arriving later there, they could warm up during the afternoon, and that would allow a few more strong to severe storms over central Georgia. So mainly a heavy rain event, isolated strong to severe storms mainly over central Georgia for Sunday. This is actually going to be a fairly important weekend for rainfall. We need the rain across the area. You can see in the map on the left that shows the moisture in the purple, blues, and white. There, the brown color indicates the dry air. So we're going to have a lot of moisture to work with. That's going to increase our rain chances there on Sunday. So that's good news. Then as we get into the weekend, this is Saturday and Sunday on the right, showing the rainfall in inches projected by one of our models, showing generally 1 inch to 1.5 inches of rain across the northern tier. But as we get into the Atlanta metro and then into central Georgia, we're only expecting anywhere from 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch, which is really not enough for how dry we've been the last few months. We really need a really good dousing of rain. I'm not sure this one's going to do it. Certainly can use all the rain we can get, so we'll take what we can get, but it's going to be important that we get some decent rainfall out of this system. And here we can see why it's an important weekend for rainfall, because as we move into next week, we do see a system moving through Florida. Right now it's much too early to tell exactly where the system's going to move through, but in general the trends are to draw some of that drier air. You see that brown color moving into north and central Georgia, and what that'll do is shut down our rainfall chances for Monday and Tuesday. So an important weekend for rainfall to get it if we can on Saturday and Sunday, because certainly nothing on Monday and Tuesday. And then as we move forward, Wednesday through Saturday, look at those deep brown colors just parked over the area, and we can't get those out of here. So it's looking like maybe a week or more without any rainfall chances over the area, which sounds nice, but as far as the drought conditions go, we really could use the rain across the area. So here's our just updated drought conditions showing across the state of Georgia. And now we have a severe drought depicted over northwest Georgia. That's a change for them. And then moderate drought extending all the way into the Atlanta metro now. And then normally dry conditions even appearing there in central Georgia as well. Since March 1st, still looking at a 5-inch rainfall deficit there for the Atlanta area. Over 3 for Athens. Even Columbus now showing a deficit now. Whereas before they were showing a surplus. So conditions are not getting better, they're getting worse across the area. And then if we go back to January 1st in the bottom right panel, you can really see we're seeing values 12, 14, 16, upwards of 20 inches below normal for some of those areas across the northern tier. So you can see why the rainfall is so crucial to help curb some of these drought conditions. So in summary, this afternoon through tonight, scattered showers and thunderstorms. A few storms could be strong to severe this afternoon and evening, but diminishing largely for the overnight period. Again, the main threats: gusty winds, hail, and cloud-to-ground lightning. The best chance of showers and storms appear to be over the northern tier on Saturday and then everywhere on Sunday as that cold front moves through, and then the dry conditions return for next week, adding to the drought concerns. So again, thanks for listening to the weekly weather briefing. Hopefully we added some useful information there for you. And here's some contact information for us so that you can get some of the latest information. Again, thanks, and we'll talk to you again next week.